I want to talk about the upcoming TikTok ban, which I didn't even know was still a thing because it seemed to be ruled on and then it just disappeared and nobody talked about it. And then TikTok is still around. It's still a very, very big part of popular culture. Certainly, if you operate in this space, whether it's politics or pop culture, a lot of the stories and stuff come from things like videos on TikTok. But now what they're saying is after failing to win an appeal, TikTok will be banned on January 19th, which coincidentally is one day before Trump takes office.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's on purpose?
I don't have a sense either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah. How do you feel about this? Like, my big question when it comes to this is like, look, it seemed like originally conservatives were all for it back in the, during Trump's presidency. Yes. They were all on board with the TikTok ban. Then Trump came out later and was against it, but that was after he had left office. And the big questions, there's two schools of thought on this. One is about the mental health consequences of what TikTok is doing to the American people, specifically the youth, but also First Amendment concerns, given that the company is not American.
So there are First Amendment concerns. It also is legitimate to say that if you have TikTok on your phone, you have given the CCPA direct access to the contents of your phone. I don't think that so I don't have a strong feeling that it needs to be banned because there are multiple other platforms that are doing the same thing. You can go to Instagram and do reels that are just as effectively.
Yeah,
I think that Instagram is a bad.
Instagram is American owned, right?
Yeah, Instagram's an American. It's owned by Meta. Now Meta's an absolute dog shit company. Yes, like they're absolutely horrible. I hate Meta. I don't. Even if TikTok is an actual Chinese spyware application, the company is nicer to the actual users than Instagram is. Instagram is absolute, like I can't say enough negative things about Facebook, Instagram. Like all the Meta properties are absolute trash. The way that Facebook treats its users is absolute trash. The way that they ban
Does that happen to you specifically? Have there been like
instances? Yeah, well, they banned me, but not only that. Like when you compare it to like TikTok, they tell you if you behave this way, you will get a lot of users and you can turn this into a job. Right? They give you an outline of how to do it. You can go and they will help you. On X, they tell you do this stuff and you can make this is how you make revenue, and they're like, these are the things that are going to help you, these are the things that are going to hurt you. Facebook and Instagram and all of the Meta properties, they do nothing to help you. They do nothing to inform you. This is how you can use this to promote your business. If you try to promote your business, all they try and do is get money out of you. Yeah. They don't want to help you. If you're trying to promote something of yours, they don't want to help you at all. They want to charge you. They're just an absolute garbage company. There are other applications and other social media networks or whatever that will, at the very least, partner with you.
Yeah,
I know that YouTube's not great, but they don't hurt you for trying to promote your company or trying to promote things, right? Like Instagram and Facebook, they will charge you to just advertise. They're an absolute dog shit company. So I don't have any particular love for TikTok. I do think that the fact that it's likely a Chinese spyware application, I think that poses national security risks, not because of like your average person, but like all the kids that are on TikTok that their parents work at Langley, or their parents work for the DOD, or their parents work at one of the hundreds and hundreds of different defense contractors that are placed throughout the whole country. Those kind of things I think are legitimate concerns. Yeah. But as for like, do I dislike TikTok? I don't care. Like, I don't have a problem with TikTok.
Do you think that it's fueling a mental health crisis, or was the mental health crisis already there?
I think that's just social media in general.
Yeah. Facebook came out already, and they had the big report about them ruining the young teenage girls' lives.
Oh, yeah. That's what Jonathan Haidt has written extensively on that. But I think a lot of the blame was put there because there was political influence to focus on this company because they weren't American. But again, a lot of it is that the worst of the worst on TikTok ends up making its way to Instagram anyways.
Yeah.
And it ends up a reel. Like the joke is always like, I don't watch TikToks. I watch them when they make it to Instagram 2 weeks later, like a normal millennial.
Yeah.
And that's fairly true.
Yeah.
But did you see this story from a couple of days ago about the girl who was dancing next to her sugar daddy in the hospital bed?
Wait, that's
Did
not
you
her-
see this?
that's
Oh,
not
yeah,
her
she's like, I
grandfather?
made it to the will.
Yes.
But it's the like TikTok doesn't make people terrible.
No.
Terrible people are highlighted on TikTok or Instagram or the internet. Like there are plenty of people that are absolutely, the worst.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, yeah,
I didn't say anything.
you should watch this if you're listening right now. It's a young woman, a young woman. I looked her up. She's she's a typical Instagram thought. She has a link tree. That's all you have to know. She has a link tree, and in this video, she's dancing next to her provider's
Is it?
hospital bed, saying that she got in the will.
I thought it was nice at first. I thought it was like maybe her grandfather or something. That's what I first thought. I didn't know it
Nothing
was
nice about
It's
this.
like, do you remember the video that was from a couple years ago where it's like my baby has RSV and then she starts dancing next to her
God,
baby
yes,
in
that-
the NICU? What it is it's a way to categorize and collate all of the worst of human, of our human implications, and then put it all in one place for people to watch. And to be fair, we then choose to highlight it and cover it on here, which doesn't help either. But at the same time, a lot of it is like a slow motion car wreck, and you're like, I can't look away from just how awful a lot of these people are. But I don't know if the platform itself is the problem, because they will just migrate to another platform. One of the biggest issues that happened was that, look, a lot of the adpocalypse came because, Tumblr got sold, and then Tumblr banned pornography, and those people disseminated throughout Twitter, and then all of a sudden you have 2018 Twitter, and it was awful.
It was the worst. One of the worst things that has happened to the internet was having Tumblr get like
Mainstream.
and stop allowing, because at the very least they stayed on Tumblr.
Yeah.
They stayed there and they left the rest of us alone. That's like getting rid of like Poll, like on 4chan. You don't want those people, rummaging around the real internet. Leave them in their cesspool. They're happy there. They like to be there. We like them there. They can stay there. Don't mess up their ecosystem and make them, run around through the rest of the internet,
What do you think an actual ban on TikTok would look like? Like, the only thing that I can imagine is that it just leaves the App Store.
Well, yeah, I mean, I imagine
Like,
so.
does it get deleted from your phone?
Well, ByteDance could say that ByteDance has to stop supporting it.
Okay, so it wouldn't be applicable here in America anymore. Your phone would stop supporting it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
And,
I don't know that you're like if you have TikTok on there, that it might stay, and they might not be like ByteDance might not be able to access it anymore. But I don't know for sure.
becomes like, what was that game, Flappy Bird, where the guy took the game off of the phone because it was too addictive?
No.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember Flappy Bird. No.
Well, maybe it was a different name to the game, but basically this guy created a game like 10 years ago, and it was so addictive that he felt guilty about how addictive it was to people, and then he stopped, he took the game off the App Store. And then phones that had the game on it started selling for extensive amounts of money on
wow.
eBay because it was it was air-gapped.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I think in a lot of ways that the mental health crisis that's going on in America is so multifaceted, and there are so many layers to it. And that's on top of the fact that when you think about it, just the nature of putting it to video for the sake of clout, which is what all of this really is about for most of the people, right? Like, I have these thoughts quite often because, look, I post a lot of skating on Instagram. I don't post as much on Twitter. I post a little bit, but compared to a lot of other people who tweet a lot, you have to like feel real strongly about a lot of stuff to want to talk about it. Otherwise, the other motivation people have, if it's not feeling strongly about certain things that they care about, it's about clout, and it's about wanting a certain amount of recognition, none of which has really ever mattered to me. So I don't feel that pull to talk as such. But I don't think that deleting TikTok from the internet is going to help the mental crisis, issues here in America.
No, for sure. It's not going to, because the mental crisis isn't driven by TikTok. Yeah. It's driven by social media.
How would you fix it? If somebody asked you like for tips on how to fix it?
Parents, be parents, and don't let your kids have social media.
Yeah. What is because what was it? Australia saying that kids can't have social media now until they're 16.
I don't know, but you definitely shouldn't let your kids have social media. Like you should be 18 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe 16, but
I think in Australia they just banned it until the age of 16.
Oh wow, good for them.
Yeah.
And we can also do what the Chinese folks do. You only get like an hour a day or something like that at a certain age.
Well, they also lock people in their homes.
They weld them in their homes too.
I think this is not something that should be state done. I think that parents shouldn't allow their children to have phones.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that this is not. It'll be an imperfect solution, but it should be something that parents do. It should not be the state stepping in, the government stepping in and saying we're going to prevent this or prevent that, or you can't. Like, it should be parents. And I know there's a lot of kids that are going to fall through the cracks because of it. Because there are bad parents out there. There's a lot of bad parents out there that don't take care of their kids. There's a lot of parents that are just like, okay, if my kid's crying, I'm just going to stick a screen in front of their face. And they do it at like 6 months or whatever, and like start ruining their brain right away, But I think that it should be something that is about, it should be about parenting, not about state force.
The parenting solution is a good solution because it's kind of like what you said about losing weight. That gentleman who lost weight with the super chat, it took him 4 years to do it, and so he's going to keep it off.
Yeah.
Whereas the parents got involved early, their brains would get better over time and stay well.
All right. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.